Hey everybody, just wanted to do an 18-year review. Yes, you heard it right. 18-year review on my 2007 Mustang GT Premium Convertible. Sorry in advance for the background noise. The air conditioner is running here at the house. So anyways, I had received this car, ordered it in early 2006. The car was built in July of 2006 as an 07. This color is called Red Fire Metallic. This was the color that was offered in 2005, 6, and 7. And then in 2008, they did change the color slightly. It's got a different name. It's got a little bit more of a ketchup color to it. Still a metallic, but I definitely love this better. So anyways, 2007 was kind of a cool year. They introduced a few new things, one of which was the dashboard panel always used to be a bright silver. You were able to order it in silver or in the darker gray that I had. One of the new options was a auto day-night dimming mirror with a compass. They also did add a power passenger seat, and heated seats for the first time was an option. I remember my wife telling me, what in God's name would you get heated seats for in a car that you only drive during the summer? And you know what? There's been plenty of nights when we've gone to cruise nights, etc. We still have the top down in the evening. It gets a little bit cool. And yeah, it's a nice thing to turn on the heated seats. So those were new options. One of the other new options was a premium cloth convertible top instead of the shiny vinyl that was out there. And then if you see this little nub out here, Sirius XM was available for the first year in 2007. What Mustang's always done really nice with their convertible tops is, I believe it's a 4-panel. So the way when it folds down, this is actually the front leading edge that locks onto the windshield. And most convertibles are flipped the other way if they're only like a 3-panel, and then you see the inside hardware and everything. This kind of gives it a nice finished look without having to put on the there's like a little tonneau cover that goes on. I have it. I've used it maybe only once or twice in a parade. It's kind of a pain to put on, and I usually don't even bother with it. So one of the other options that I had gotten was the 18-inch, the premium wheels. There were 2 different kinds. There was one that kind of looked like a fan blade style, and these are the 18-inch, the optional bullets. I really love these wheels. The car originally came with BF Goodrich. I think they were P0 Neros. I actually replaced them last year, maybe with about 16,000 miles on the car. Plenty of tread left, but you know, after 16 years, you're definitely worried about having a blowout, that kind of thing, so it just wasn't worth it. One other thing that I did replace was the Ford factory high-mounted stoplight. Was always such a joke. There's only one bulb in there, and if you ever looked at it from a little bit off center, it always looked like it was half burned out. So I ended up going with the smoked LED one. And then I also did the sequential turn signal kit. These are incandescent bulbs. There's a wiring kit that you end up putting in here, and it flashes them in sequence. I love the original Ford factory exhaust. Even the chrome tips were, the tips were chrome. My only problem was I thought they were just a little bit too quiet. I ended up getting a pair of the Corsa. These are the Corsa Extremes. They're the catbacks. They basically have the tip, the muffler, and a little bit of a pipe. I don't know if you can see in here, but basically you just loosen the old mufflers just right past the axle. It's a straight bolt-on, swap. Easiest thing that could ever be. Really like the way it sounds. Some people have told me, you know what, the exhaust kind of sounds like a boat, and that kind of makes sense because Corsa originally got their start. If you've ever seen the power boats, the speed boats that have the dual tips that come out of the back sides of the boat right at the water line, That is called the Corsa Captain's Call exhaust. That's where Corsa got their start from, was in the boating industry. So, and they kind of made it all the way over to, you know, the car sector. So anyways, I put about 1,000 miles a year on this car. It's a total blast to drive. The engine in this thing is just the standard, the 4.6 liter. They did not go to the 5 liter until a few years later. This is the 4.6. It's the 3-valve engine, makes 300 horsepower. Sounds kind of lame, you know, by horsepower standards these days, but it still moves pretty good. It sounds great. Of course, I ended up going with the 5-speed manual, and half the fun of driving this car is just rowing through the gears and listening to how the, you know, how the exhaust sounds. So, like I said, in 2008, they changed his red color a little bit more, a little more ketchup-y. And then the other thing that they ended up doing too in 2008 that they made as an option, I wish I could have had it on this one, was the high-intensity discharge headlights. These are just the halogens. So it's funny, when you have the fog lights on in the middle, so many people think they're high beams, and even though they're not very bright, you know, people are always flashing you, thinking that your high beams are on. So anyways, oh yeah, and the tires I ended up going to, I went with Michelin's this time around. These are the Pilot Sport All Season 4. Not that I ever drive this in the winter. I think I've only actually been caught in the rain one time. But anyways, if anybody's ever looking for a used one, I mean, these are just great cars to pick up at a reasonable price. They're great. They're so nice to drive. We did a family trip, actually, my wife and I, with a car club out to Mount Rushmore, the Badlands. There were 3 of us, my wife and I, and our son, who was probably 13 or 14 at the time. My wife and my son took turns, you know, sitting between the passenger seat and the rear seat. You know, a little bit wind blown in the back seat, but it was still doable, and, you know, we still had a pretty nice room for, you know, all our luggage and stuff. And actually, speaking of room, I'll let you see. So this is the trunk. Excuse the Aldi bag back here. But I have the Shaker 1000 stereo. That was an option for that year. It's great having a super powerful, you know, radio from the factory, especially when you're driving 60, 70 miles an hour with the top down. It is nice to get some good sound. Believe it or not, I can get a golf bag in here. The only thing I usually have to do is take the my 3 woods out of it, because they're a little bit long. I'll take them out and I'll just actually lay them here, because the handles will, the grips will go a little bit past the subwoofer, and then the bag actually fits in here, and it goes pretty far back. What's nice is it's got a dedicated area for the top, so when you put the top down, there's no intrusion in your trunk space. And I can actually get a one of those 3-wheeled golf push carts in here too, sitting in front of the golf bag. So yeah, it's surprising how much room is in here. So anyways, let's give this thing a quick start, and I'll let you hear how this exhaust sounds. Got a nice rumble. The nice thing about it is, with the Corsa exhaust systems, there is no drone whatsoever. And actually, unless you get into the throttle, when you're cruising on the highway, 50, 60, 70, 75, it's not very loud at all. And I mean, it's bearable, no problem. Like I said, we took the trip out to Mount Rushmore. A lot of highway driving, and never got sick of the exhaust. So it's got a nice sound to it, but like I said, some people are like, hey, kind of sounds like a speedboat. Yeah, it does. It doesn't bother me. So anyways, that's it in a nutshell. Leave a comment if you like. Ask me any questions you want. Hopefully I can, you know, answer them for you. But yeah. This has been a super great car. I love it. No plans of getting rid of it anytime in the future. And the nice thing about it is my 3 adult kids, none of them drive it because none of them know how to drive stick. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.